Russian tanks are rolling through Ukraine right now, and as egocentrical Americans, we've got one question on our mind. How will this affect me? And I'm a real estate guy, so I want to talk today about how will this affect housing prices? Is this going to crash the market? Is this the crash everybody's been hoping for? Ever since the coronavirus hit, everybody's been putting out videos saying the market will crash, and all the home buyers and investors were like, yay, the market will crash, and they're watching all these videos waiting for the market crash. That never came. Everybody wants a deal, but they don't understand how these things actually affect the housing market. So I'm going to tell you guys what I think this war in Russia is going to do to the housing market. And caveat, I'm not a callous douche. We all feel bad for the people in Ukraine. Everybody's praying for them, and hopefully they can get out and they can be safe. But that's not what this video is about. This is about, will the housing market crash? Let's talk about it right now.
Shut up and sit down.
Okay, number one, oil prices. Everybody knows that oil prices are going up through the roof. We're going to cut Russia off. We're not going to accept their oil anymore. So our oil prices are going to go up. And what does that mean? Oh, you have to pay more for gas to put in your big F-150? No, that's not it. See, everything has to go on a ship or on a truck to get to the store so that you can buy it. So all those prices are going to go up. What do we call it when all the prices go up? Everybody say it with me. It's on everybody's lips lately.
Inflation.
Inflation makes everything get more expensive, but this is also going to cause more supply chain problems. So what happens when things get more expensive and we can get less of them? More costs for everybody. Remember the first time around when the corona hit and we had supply chain issues? Remember what happened to the price of lumber? Through the roof. So this is going to make home building more expensive. Inflation is already at 7%. So things are going to get really interesting here as everything gets more expensive. Okay, so how does inflation affect housing? Well, in a couple of different ways. We'll get into it a little bit more in a minute here. But one way is interest rates. Interest rates have slowly been going up over the last couple of months. And when the tanks started rolling over the border into Ukraine, interest rates froze. They didn't go up, they didn't go down, they just kind of sat there because one thing markets hate is uncertainty. So everybody's like, they're actually invading? Oh, I didn't think that was going to happen. We've just been talking about it for the past 3 weeks, but now they're doing it. So everybody freaked out and nobody did anything. Everybody just froze like a deer in the headlights. And then rates actually came down a little bit the day after the invasion. People are like, oh, well, we're not sure what's going on. The stock market started to crash, bond yields started to go down, and interest rates actually came down a little bit. Why is this good or bad? Well, the Fed should have already been raising interest rates, I think, a while ago. But guess what? Nobody asks me. I don't know, but maybe more people should watch my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there if you want more content like this. I digress. And since they didn't raise rates yet, and they were watching they were watching the rates go up a little bit. They're like, oh, maybe we can just sit back. Maybe the market will take care of itself and we won't have to jump in there and raise rates. But now that they ticked down a little bit, oh, Uncle Sam and the Fed are going, maybe we need to help these people out. Maybe we got to start bumping those rates up. So they might actually start raising rates faster than what the market anticipated. So interest rates could go up faster because of that little tick down, I think. Okay, so point number one is I think interest rates might go up faster than what the market had initially anticipated. A, to offset the inflation that we talked about, and B, because they are starting to go back down the wrong direction, and the Fed, I think, might have to step in faster than we thought. Point number two, stock market crashing. The stock market is finally crashing. Everybody that's been saying it for 2 years because of the coronavirus, they've been saying
Stocks are going to crash. Oh my God, go into cash and just let inflation eat away at your money and get out of the markets now and all the doom and gloom.
Well, you keep predicting it long enough and eventually you'll be right. And now they're right, except it wasn't because of the corona. It was because of a possible World War III. So there you go. All the doom and gloomers finally get to
say, I told you so.
But the stock market is actually crashing now. So what does that mean? Well, a lot of people who are buying houses get their money out of their stocks, their 401ks, their cryptocurrency, wherever they've been building it up for the past however long. They like to go in there, take that money out, either A, use it for the down payment, or B, pay cash for the house, which we've seen a lot of cash buyers in the market lately because the stock markets and the other markets have done so well. So what effect does this have on the housing market? Well, people, when they watch their 401ks and their stock funds go into the toilet, They're obviously not pulling that money out. They're not going to buy houses. They're going to go onto the sidelines. They're going to hunker in the bunker, and they're going to be like, well, let's just kind of see how this plays out. Because when the coronavirus hit and everything went down 30%, it was like 4 months later, and the V recovery took off, and we were right back where we started. So they're going to go onto the sidelines. They're going to wait. So then you say, well, that's going to give me an opportunity. All those people who are going to wait will make less competition so that it'll make it easier for me to go in and buy a house. Well, not so fast, young grasshopper, because like I said before, all markets don't like uncertainty. So what are sellers going to do? They're going to do the same thing. They're going to be like, whoa, what's going on here? I might not put my house on the market. I thought I was going to cash out, but these guys aren't buying houses. So if there's fewer buyers coming in, maybe I'll sit on the sidelines and see how this thing plays out, because I got to buy something on the other end too. So it could put more sellers on the sideline, which guess what? Means less inventory in an environment where we already don't have enough inventory. So it doesn't matter how many buyers go onto the sideline if there's nothing to buy. If inventories continue to go down, it doesn't matter how many buyers are out there, because there's nothing. Like if you go to a store to buy milk and there's no milk on the shelf, it don't matter how much you got money in your pocket to buy it, there's no milk to buy. So I think this could reduce inventories even greater. So what do we got so far? Point number 1, higher interest rates. Point number 2, possibly less inventory. Okay, point number 3. We talked about inflation and supply chain issues a minute ago, and I'm going to bring that back in here. We're going to go a little deeper into that, because some people think that there's 1.8 million new permits applied for to build new housing, and they think that this is going to be the savior. All these new houses are going to come into the market and flood the market and take care of the inventory problem, and then everybody will have a house to buy, and the angels will sing, and the rainbows will come out, and a unicorn will fly, and the whole world will be happy, and prices will come down, and everybody can buy a house. I'm not so sure. You see, inflation and supply chain problems make prices go up. Again, remember we talked about the lumber prices last time? So what happens when prices go up to build a house? Well, those 1.8 million builders might say, ooh, I'm going to go on the sideline for a minute here. All those people were looking at the stock market on the sideline, all those sellers waiting to figure out what to do on the sideline. I'm going to hang out with those guys, because misery loves company. We're all going to sit on the sideline and wait and see what happens. Because they're not going to build houses if prices go through the roof. And if they don't know, like all markets don't like uncertainty, even builders. So if they put off building some of these houses, guess what? Less inventory. And this doesn't have anything to do with the war in Russia or anything else, but something else that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. A good point is, because rents have gone up so much, people that are going to buy those new houses that the builders are going to make, guess what they're going to do with their old house? They're going to keep it, and they're going to rent it out and make some money to pay for their new, more expensive house. So if they gobble up 20, 30, 40% of these new houses on the market and they keep their old houses, that's not going to fix the supply problem in the housing market either. I haven't heard anybody else really making that point. But people are seeing rents go up, and I think they're going to keep their old houses as they move up to a bigger house, because those starter houses, those are the kind of houses people make money on renting. So there's a little side note, another reason why I think inventory is going to go down, making prices go up. Just one more kind of side note about the Ukrainian people. They have a really educated workforce in Ukraine, highly educated. They have good jobs. They're a really global market. Also, a lot of the people that work in Ukraine work for global companies, for US companies, which guess what? They're not going to work tomorrow. They're in bunkers. They're in underground bunkers and bomb shelters. They're not going to go to work and make tech phone calls or whatever they do. So the longer this goes on, well, for one, all those US or world UK companies, whoever, India, whoever's doing business with these people, those people aren't coming to work. So they need to find people to replace those people. But guess what? There's a worldwide labor shortage. So these companies are going to be struggling. That's going to cause more supply chain constraints. And the longer this goes on, then those people in the bunkers are going like, man, I got to get out of the Ukraine. This is messed up. I got to get out of here. So where are they going to go? I don't know. Maybe they'll go into Poland. Maybe they'll try to get into Germany. The longer this goes on, maybe they're trying to come into the U.S. I've already heard some talk about the U.S. Trying to get some new visas for Ukrainians to come into the country. And if that happens, if we start letting a flood of Ukrainians come into the country, they're highly educated. Most of them speak English. A lot of people in Ukraine speak English also. So they could assimilate into our job market very easily. But if they're going into these high-paying, global jobs in tech industries or wherever, guess where they're going? They're going to Austin. They're going to Seattle. They're going to these places where there's already no housing because job markets are so good and prices are just going through the roof. So more competition. Again, I don't know, a little side note there. So what is my overall thoughts here? Did I say anything that made you think the market's going to crash? I don't think so. I think this is another thing that's going to make housing prices go up. It's going to make inventories go down, and it's going to make buying a house even harder. So if you're waiting, I said this 2 years ago. I've been saying this for the two years. I've not been putting out videos saying the market's going to crash. How about that thumbnail I did though? Did you guys like that thumbnail? I like that with the tank and the, anyway, if you like the video or the thumbnail, give me a thumbs up down there. It helps this go out to more people. So my synopsis is I don't think the market's going to crash. I think this is going to make more turmoil in the housing market that's going to make prices go up, inventories go down. So don't wait. Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. That's my 2 cents. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.